Waitress slipped a note to the Mafia boss. Your wife gave you up. They're in position. I felt the tremor run through my wrist as I placed the folded napkin beside his plate. It was a cheap, linen feel napkin. A ridiculous container for a message that would either save Maxwell Smith's life or end mine. I was about to trade my invisible life for a death sentence. All for a man whose name was synonymous with danger. His wife Sarah Smith, perfectly coiffed and chillingly calm, sipped her Cabernet, oblivious or perhaps perfectly aware. I waited for him to glance up. Is everything satisfactory, Mr. Smith? I asked, like my pulse wasn't trying to climb out of my throat. 10 minutes earlier, my life was still simple. I was in the wine cellar, carefully selecting the rare 98 Bordeaux, when the light overhead flickered, and I heard the low, clear sound of a hushed phone call. It wasn't Maxwell Smith's voice, it was Sarah's. Her tone was flat, almost bored. The perimeter teams are in place, she said, her voice echoing slightly off the stone walls. 2 at the service exit, the driver's pocket is cleared. Rachel's breath hitched. You'll have a straight shot the second he raises his glass. I'll make sure he lifts it. The cellar suddenly felt less like a storage room and more like a tomb. I snatched a cocktail napkin and grabbed a pen. My hand shook violently as I scrawled the warning. Your wife gave you up. They're in position. I tucked the napkin into my palm and pushed through the heavy cellar door, back into the danger. Back at the table, Maxwell Smith's eyes finally dropped to the napkin. For a heart-stopping moment he didn't move. Then his jaw tightened, the only sign that the message had hit home. He folded the napkin slowly, his gaze momentarily lifting to the large picture window overlooking the street, where I knew the sniper was now aiming. The clock had stopped ticking, the moment had arrived. Rachel's pulse hammered a warning. He was reading the note. I saw the light glinting from a rooftop and shouted, "Ambush!" Simultaneously sweeping my arm across the table, I sent the candelabra crashing to the floor. I threw my entire weight into Maxwell's side, tackling him sideways out of his chair. The crash of metal and fine china was instantaneous, swallowed by a sound far worse. The sharp thwack of the high-caliber bullet hitting the solid marble column, just behind where Maxwell's head had rested seconds ago. The dining room exploded into panic. In the sudden, deafening chaos, Maxwell Smith was a force of nature. His security detail, a ghost presence until now, materialized, neutralizing 2 men near the kitchen entrance with brutal efficiency. Maxwell, however, was focused entirely on Rachel. He pinned her beneath him on the expensive carpet, his immense weight a shield, his presence suffocating. "Stay down, Piccola," he growled, his breath hot against her ear, the words a harsh command, not a plea. "You just made yourself the most wanted woman in this city. You belong to me now." Tears of shock and adrenaline stung her eyes. "My sister," she gasped. "Chloe. She's alone." Maxwell barked orders into his phone. "Victor. 1420 Fifth Avenue. Queens. Ground floor. Retrieve her sister, Chloe. Quietly. No lights, no drama. You have 5 minutes to move them to the extraction point." He looked at Rachel, his face grim. "She's safe. But you and your sister are finished with your old life. You are a key witness, Rachel. The people who tried to kill me, the Giannis, will cut you out like cancer. Your debt for saving my life is now your life itself. It belongs to me until this war is over." The drive was a blur of speed and terror, ending not in a sterile safe house but at a sprawling, heavily fortified estate high on a secluded hill. It was a golden cage. Rachel was frantic, pacing until Victor, Maxwell's hulking head of security, brought in Chloe. Chloe, 15 and feisty, was livid. "What is this? Where's the money? Did you lose your job again, Ratch?" Rachel could only offer vague, panicked excuses. Soon after, Maxwell found Rachel alone in the study. He was changed out of his bloodied suit, wearing a dark silk shirt that emphasized his dangerous physique. He demanded a detailed account of Sarah's phone call. She repeated the coordinates and the cold certainty in Sarah's voice. Maxwell listened, his eyes like stone. "It was the Giannis," he confirmed, his voice low and lethal. "They have been pushing for control of the waterfront. Sarah was the lever they used." He walked toward her, dominating the space. "This isn't a safe house, Rachel. It's a compound. And you are a permanent resident until the Giannis are gone. You are in deep Piccola. Welcome to my war." Rachel found Maxwell hours later, staring out at the city lights. "Why?" she asked, the single word cutting through the tense silence. She was your wife. Sarah was tired of being the boss's wife, he admitted, the title tasting like ash. She wanted my power without my name. She wanted the money without the scrutiny. The Giannis offered her both, a handsome settlement and a chance to destroy my territory. He finally turned, the depth of the deception etched on his face. She wasn't just a trophy, Rachel. She's the mother of my child. The betrayal, it's a surgical strike. It shows the length my enemies will go to, and the level of absolute loyalty I demand now. He closed the distance between them. You were the only one in that room who chose to save me. Everyone else was either trying to kill me or too scared to move. He used the depth of his family's deception to rationalize his control over her. The Giannis see you as the loose end. If you try to run, they find you, they torture you for information. And then they end you. And Chloe, I may be a monster, Rachel, but I am the only thing standing between you and a shallow grave. That loyalty, however accidental, is yours now. The luxury felt like a trap, and the constant presence of armed guards felt like imprisonment. Rachel found Maxwell at the gym, hitting a heavy bag with controlled, terrifying force. I'm done, she stated. I saved your life. I did my part. Let us go. He stopped. You think I can let you go? His voice was a dangerous rasp. The moment you step outside that gate, you sign your death warrant. Do you think the Giannis will just shrug and move on? Now you are a target. They will assume you know everything, that you're working for me. This isn't a negotiation, Rachel. It's reality. I owe you my life, yes. But that debt means your life is now intertwined with mine. You have a choice. Stay here, live under my protection, and Chloe is safe. Or walk out, and I guarantee you'll be signing your and Chloe's death warrants. Rachel looked at the steel in his eyes. She hated the unfairness, but she knew he spoke the truth about the danger. She swallowed her pride, the resentment burning in her throat. I stay, she choked out. For Chloe. The illusion of safety shattered 3 days later. Rachel was watching a movie with Chloe when an unknown number texted her. The first text was simple. Bad choice, Waitress. Should have stayed invisible. She immediately showed the phone to Maxwell. His face remained impassive, but his grip tightened on his pen until it snapped. The final text arrived moments later. It was a photo, a grainy, zoomed-in shot of her old apartment building in Queens. The chilling caption. Tell Chloe to watch the windows. Nice new house, but we know where you are. Rachel gasped, dropping the phone. The Giannis knew they had been moved. They knew about Chloe. Maxwell finally spoke, his voice low and vibrating with a lethal, focused rage. Victor, triple the exterior patrol. Seal the perimeter. He looked at Rachel, his eyes burning with an unspoken promise. They just signed their own death warrant, Piccola. They crossed the line. This is no longer defense, it's annihilation. Chloe, resilient despite the circumstances, adapted quickly, spending time with Victor and finding a strange admiration for Maxwell's power. Rachel's resentment, however, grew. She was a pawn locked away. She found Maxwell in his office one evening. I'm not a trophy wife or a hostage, she declared. I'm a survivor. You want me to stay, you stop treating me like I'm made of glass. I want to help. Maxwell raised an eyebrow. Help how? You can serve wine, Rachel, not dismantle a crime family. I have a good memory, Maxwell. I overheard more than I told you. She pointed to a messy ledger on his desk. Give me something to do. Give me a way to fight for my sister, or I will find my own way out. A slow, dangerous smile spread across his face. He picked up the ledger, a complex breakdown of illegal imports. The Giannis are financing their push with these shipments. Their books are a mess. Analyze it for me. Find the pattern, the pressure point. Let's see if your moral reflexes extend to accounting. Rachel spent 2 days buried in the Johnny ledgers, finding the anomaly. A high-value shipment due to arrive during a specific, heavily attended downtown gala. Victor confirmed the intelligence. Sarah was set to finalize her deal with Alessio Johnny, the family's heir, at that very gala. Maxwell was preparing to leave. You stay here, he commanded. No, Rachel countered. I found the intelligence. Sarah hates me. I was there for the beginning. I'm going to be there for the end. I refuse to be a prisoner. He studied her, then nodded. Fine. But you don't speak. You don't move, and you stay behind me. In the black armored car speeding through the city, the tension was unbearable. You could have let me die, Maxwell suddenly said. Why didn't you? I don't know, Rachel admitted. It felt like a choice between living with a lie or dying for the truth. He reached out and took her hand. Everyone I have ever loved, everyone I trusted, has betrayed me to get closer to my power. You betrayed your own safety to save me. I didn't want this, Rachel, but somewhere between the note and now, you became the only truth I trust. The gala was a glittering trap. Maxwell led Rachel through the crowd toward Sarah and Alessio. Johnny. Look at the gutter trash you've replaced me with, Maxwell, Sarah sneered. A waitress. Desperate. Alessio, the Johnny heir, was smooth and arrogant. She won't matter, Smith. You're finished. Rachel stepped slightly forward. You're wrong, Alessio, she said clearly. He's not finished, he's just cleaner. Your weakness wasn't his power, it was his wife's greed. She looked Sarah straight in the eye. And your greed is what sent us here. The confrontation ended swiftly. Back at the estate, the city lights spread out below them. Where do we go from here? Maxwell asked, his voice low. Rachel looked at him. I stay, she declared. But as a partner, not a prisoner. No more secrets, Maxwell. No more handling things without telling me. We are in this together, or I'm out completely. He reached for her, his eyes intense. Together. He kissed her then, a kiss of ownership and absolute commitment. I love you, he confessed. I didn't plan to, but you became the only thing I'd burn this entire city down to protect. I love you too, she replied. Even though you're dangerous and controlling. Their new life stretched before them. A promise of chaos and unity. The ultimate betrayal. Did she save his life? Or sign her own death warrant? Click here to find out what happened next. The waitress just exposed the most dangerous secret in the city. The mafia boss's wife sold him out. Now she's not just a witness. She's the only woman the most powerful man in the city trusts. And the target of the entire Johnny crime family. Don't miss the next chapter. Does she become his queen or his leverage? Like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the moment the waitress trades her apron for a crown or a coffin.